Hello.
How are you doing, Mr. Tyler?
I'm doing real good.
Real good, man. You have been killing it this week.
It has been maybe the craziest week of snakes I've ever had. I was out of town from Friday to Monday. Well, I got home, Sunday. Came home to 4 clutches and was like, oh, damn, okay, that's nuts. So I cut a clutch late last week and everything came out and now all of them are shed. So I've got, 15 new babies and then got 2 more clutches today. So the incubator, I can fit 2 more clutches in it, which it's scary.
How
but
many more are you expecting though?
For the year, 8, but yeah, I know. I'm kind of real close. But pretty much the good part is I'll be pulling clutches and cutting clutches before I have to put new ones in.
Yeah.
Which I got kind of lucky. I got, a huge, like I said earlier in the year, I was like, I'm going to get them all at one time. So I have 20 plus clutches in there right now. And I can fit, like I said, 2 more. I got 8 more girls to lay, but I have 3 weeks until another one's due. And in 3 weeks, I got 2 or 3 clutches to cut early this month now. Early this month, I have a couple clutches to cut. So it has been ridiculous these past couple weeks with babies. I think I've got 10 clutches in the past 2 weeks.
Well, congratulations, man. That right there. I know your season started off really slow. Ours did too. But now it's just kind of catching up all in one 2-week period. Yep. But that's amazing. Now you'll have show animals. I know you've been to a lot of shows. You put a lot of effort into everything you do when it comes to your reptiles, and that's awesome for you, dude.
Yeah, thank you. That's been the biggest thing now is brainstorming. Okay, how many of these can I get ready for? Pretty much the Rexpo, which is our local Rochester show, which is in 8 weeks. So pretty much everything that's out right now should be ready if they eat. Everything this year has been eating really well. I don't have any wood to knock on, but everything's been eating really well. Yeah, right. So I'm hoping I'll have my first 5 or 6 clutches ready for that show is kind of my goal. And then I got St. Louis in November, which is another big push to get some more babies ready for NARBC St. Louis. Kind of get, I think I'll have about 10 clutches out that could be ready by St. Louis. But
yeah,
then I'll have another 20 after that.
Just got to have the space in the incubator in the rack. That's all it takes, right?
Yep. But it's been ridiculous. So how you been over the past, week or two?
I'm doing good. I hadn't had any more clutches. We're expecting one in about a week, and then probably 2 more in about a month. So 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah, 2 or 3 weeks. We're getting there. We're still trying to figure out the analytics of everything and where everything fits in. And but I do want to give a huge shout out to Graceful Pythons, Miss Jamie. She's running our backstage. We so appreciate you, Jamie, and y'all need to follow her. Her link is in the bio. She does 3D printing. She does snake breeding. She's an amazing woman. If you ever need just to pick me up, get a hold of Jamie, man. She is right there for all of us. So,
and I'm going to do a quick shout out for Texoma 60 Husbandry Pro. Got to use that because Husbandry's been helping me a lot. Last week, I did my first round of my 25 breeding season as well, getting all those pairings plugged in, and then I'm going to sit there for a week and look at them and go, I want to change everything. But, I got my first draft of the 25 breeding plan set up in Husbandry. It's been busy, but everything's going really, really well.
Love my Husbandry Pro, man. I couldn't do without it. I really couldn't. And also a huge shout out to Charlie, shedtesting.com. I need to change his logo down there. He's changing some stuff up right now. But if you'll use Texoma 15, you can get 15% off of 2 shed tests, and that saves money. So that's always an amazing thing.
I just need him to get fired. That's all I need.
Right.
Did you see Sara?
So Jamie, you want to start pulling up our people here? Woohoo! What's up, James? Trying to get him on the show, trying to schedule a time slot. Mr. Chris, how's it going?
And shout out to Chris, the new Chipper social media rep. So he will be running all the Chipper and Coco to Go social medias. Definitely
Congratulations,
needed,
Chris.
and he's gonna do a crazy good job at that.
What's up, Sammy? He said, "What's
Sammy,
up, Tyler? What's up, Harley?" But I know he meant Holly. What's up, dogs? Oh yeah, he said Taylor.
Always says Taylor.
What's up, Patrick?
What's up, Patrick?
Mr. Stan, that's going to be our guest for next week.
Mm-hmm. And we got who else? Shane.
Hey, Shane, what's up, man? Very nice to see you in here. Miss Tara, I hope everything is going good for you, honey. Still in our prayers, you and your family. Miss Sara from Sundogs, which is our guest tonight. Vinny. I love that name, Vinny.
Can't wait for that show.
Hey, Alex, how's it going?
What's going on, bud?
Miss Jamie, what's up, sister?
Exotic World of Geckos coming through. I don't know their name.
Hey, Bear, what's up, man? I'll see you this weekend.
What are you doing this weekend? You got a show?
In ARBC Dallas.
Oh, shoot. I forgot that was this weekend.
Yeah. Hey, TJ. Or Jen. It's Jen. All right. We'll get it down one of these days.
Musical Pythons. What's going on?
Hey, how's it going?
A lot of people.
Mr. Charlie. What's up, Mr. Charlie? RO 5.0, man. Are you going to Dallas this weekend? I hope to see you there. We need to retake some pictures. Hey, Casey.
Casey, what's going on, man? Trevor from Ball Labs.
Hey, Trevor. What's up, man?
Dog.
Long time no see.
Oh, I think that's
All
all.
right.
Sick. Charlie said he'll have a fire test soon. Very needed. Thank you.
Oh, yes, sir. Very needed.
And I guess I hope everyone has fun in Dallas.
You know, I'm not vending. I'm not doing any of that. I'm going to have fun. They have a pop-up Beetlejuice restaurant down there that Chris, the local Chris to me, we're going to be going after the auction, hopefully, if I'm not too tired. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Tara, that's good to hear.
Yes, everything is moving forward. No more round the clock ICU watches. That is very good, sister. I'm so glad to hear that. Hit that like button and subscribe if you ain't already. Jen, you got it, girl. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Well, I guess we'll go ahead and bring out our special guest for today. We met them in Florida. So good to finally meet them. Amazing people, sweet people. I couldn't believe, yeah, Josh, you all right, man, but Sara, she was the shit. What's up, y'all?
Hi, guys.
Appreciate that. Never been a nice one in my life, so I do appreciate that.
Well, we just had that vibe and energy going on, that snake sister energy, you know. So
I was really happy to finally meet you. You're so amazing. You do so much stuff, Holly. It really was a pleasure to meet you.
Oh, thank you so much.
So you met your slither sister, and I met my belly brother.
Your belly brother.
You can, yeah.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
I need that reel so I can share it.
Yeah, that was a fun time.
Came from.
So how did Daytona go for you guys? I don't you were there all 3 days. Was it your first time doing Daytona?
Your first time vending. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that was your first time vending?
Our first time vending, yeah.
at
I did
Daytona.
not know that. Y'all did
At
really
Daytona.
good.
First time vending at Daytona. Thanks.
Oh, okay.
We've been vending just this year. I mean, we are not seasoned veterans of the trade by any means.
Yeah. Yeah. So we've just been doing like Repticon stuff locally.
Got you.
Right.
So how many shows have you guys done? I guess so far this year.
So we did Tampa twice already. Then we did Orlando, and then it was our
I think
fourth.
Daytona was our fourth show.
Yeah.
Nice.
We try to look professional and all that.
I loved y'all's setup. It looks
No, it was
good.
really good.
You had Casey right there beside you. Y'all are just like all three peas in a pod, or four, because his wife was there too.
Yeah.
And just to
And,
go up to your booth.
Shout out to Jesse. He did hook us up with a display for that too.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Jesse with Musical Pythons. Yeah, he let us borrow a display because we were one short with all the babies we had.
Nice.
Well,
nice.
just walking up to y'all's display, your setup, you were all very interactive, very nice. You wasn't standoffish, and that I've been to a few shows where you walk up and people are just sitting back there and ignoring you. And I mean, y'all both come out of the booth and was just like there and showing the love. And I love that. I love that y'all have that energy about you, that you people get drawn to you whenever you do this. So that was amazing.
Appreciate
Thank you
that.
so much. That's really nice.
I agree.
Yeah.
I was walking by, and then I think Josh called my name. I was like, "Wait, who's that?" And then I went over. I was like,
I did that to a few people. It worked on most of them. They all stopped and talked to me.
I stopped. I turned. I was like, "Oh shoot, okay," and went over there. I was tunnel vision, like I always get at shows. And,
Right.
And I got a call. I was like, "Oh shoot, hello," and a lot of people won't interact with you even when you're standing right in front of a table.
Yeah.
So it's good to have the energy at shows.
It is hard to focus on everything going, especially those big shows, because you've got people coming up to you wanting to take pictures with you, wanting to talk to you. I'm there to look at the animals and see
during all of that. The bottom line is you're still there to vend the show. So
yeah,
it's like you see everybody and you want to talk to them, but then you still got to sell your snakes, So
right. And that's a thing whenever, we come up to people who do podcasts, coming up to people who oftenly frequent the podcast and talk, and we want to meet them, but we also don't want to block off your customers.
Right.
So it's trying to be respectful to stand on the side and let you still have your customers. But at the same time, you're like, no, I want you all to myself. I've been talking to you for years and I finally get to meet you. So that's awesome.
Ooh, yeah. Jen, nice. Okay, so are you bringing your animals to St. Louis? St. Louis is one of my top three shows in my opinion. So don't be nervous. It's a fun show. Usually I like it because it's a little bit more relaxed than some of the other bigger shows. But I still do very well sales wise, but there's a little more time to walk around ish. So
yeah,
I guess that's going to be my big question for you guys. Being newer into the shows, and hearing a lot of negativity over the past year or two about the ball python market and snakes don't sell and whatever. How have you guys felt over your first, 4 shows with sales and stuff moving and customer interest?
We had good shows and not as good shows. And I really feel like it just depends on where you're at sometimes in the building, and also what you have. But our very first show that we vended, we sold a ton of snakes. And I really feel like the sweet spot there is having what the pet people want, and then also having what breeders might want. So you got to find that sweet spot because it's a little bit of both.
Yeah, that first show, we didn't have hardly anything for breeders then, but we had a lot of $200 snakes on the table.
Yeah, and that's what everybody wanted. And so Daytona's a bit of a bigger show, so you expect more breeders there, and you want to bring a higher quality animal. But most of the local shows, it's people looking for pets,
Even at Daytona, most of the stuff we sold was $200 snakes.
And you guys did bring nice Axanthic clown stuff. I'm not a big Axanthic guy myself, but those caught my eye right away when I walked up to the table.
There you go.
Yes.
And did you move any of that kind of project stuff? I know you had some.
Not at the show, no.
Nothing from the project, but we actually sold out of Axanthic spiders at the show.
Yeah, we had some pastel TSK and some TSK spiders, and the entire clutch sold.
Every person that walked by, I mean, the price was just right for them. That was the sweet spot.
Yeah.
That's, I don't know how many more shows you guys kind of want to do a year, if like 5 or 6 is good, or if you're going to increase your amount of shows. But I really like what you said. Like, it's perfect from someone who's done, I do like 18, 20 shows a year.
Mm-hmm.
You're right on. Like, people who do complain, you got to have the both sides. I think for most shows, you definitely got to have both sides. There's other shows where I go to just for the lower end stuff to offload. Mm-hmm. And then, like I said, the push for St. Louis is to get a lot of the higher end animals, guys that are not from clutch 1 or 2 or 3, that fall into closer to clutch 8, 9, and 10. So I don't show up to St. Louis with some of the $100 or $200 animals, as many of them. You know what I mean? So that's a perfect thing that you guys said, and I've seen. Like, I love it.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we hear. I mean, the guys that don't have anything but high-end animals, sometimes they're not going to do that well in Tampa because, I mean, that's basically a petting zoo show.
Yeah, and you will get large groups of children that come in and want to pet all the animals, and, it is what it is.
Right.
But you have your large regional shows, which are like the NARBC and Daytona and Schaumburg, all that stuff. I mean, the bigger shows, you're going to have the better animals. And then the smaller shows, you'll have, because people are there for the weekend. They're there to look for pets, and they're like, oh, I want to get my first ball python. And so, the whole point there is to be ready to, welcome people into the hobby,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what was your pickups from Florida?
Well, we had already paid for and picked up a snake from Jeremy.
Jeremy Bod.
Jeremy Bod, yeah. What was she? She's a pastel lesser, het puzzle breeder female.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So we got her, and we picked up a couple of bloods.
Yeah,
little baby bloods to grow up to go with our other ones.
1, 2, 3
three bloods, yeah, and that was it. We kind of didn't get any ball pythons because we'd already gotten a lot previously.
Hey, John.
If you see this stuff to the right of us here, we're prepared for a blood operation.
These are for our bloods.
I want to know about your zebra.
So we don't have any visual zebras right now. They're hets, and they don't look like anything special. But I'll show them to you if you want.
Absolutely.
Yeah, where's the cat at? I think she's in there. And Marty. I'll grab Marty. You grab Cappy.
Oh, this is exciting. I've been wanting to know more and more about zebras. So, Tyler, can you explain to people about the whole zebra McKenzie controversy?
So, I mean, Zebra is, I think, was founded by Steve Russis, actually here in, I think, Albany, New York. And he's got a very close collection. I think he sold almost all his zebra stuff to Adam Chesla, and he's been kind of pioneering that project for a little while now. And semi-recently, people have been bringing up, it looks like Mackenzie, or the super Mackenzie would be the visual zebra, and then the het zebra would be the single gene Mackenzie.
Yeah.
I think I saw it somewhere that they were genetically tested the same, but I don't know if that's for sure.
I don't think that they have genetically proved it yet. I know there's been a lot of speculation.
Right.
But we're still waiting for like the big test to come out.
There's a Mackenzie right there.
Yeah. So this is a yellow belly Mackenzie.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And this
compare that to a het zebra.
Yeah, both of these guys are pastel het zebra het TSK.
Oh, damn! Double het SK.
Double het, yeah. And both of these guys came from Steve Morse.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And I mean, I can't say enough good things about Steve. We picked up the male first, and he held on to the female while we made payments.
Mm-hmm.
And he did not maintenance feed whatsoever. When we picked her up, we had been kind of power feeding this boy, like every 5 days feeding them, and they were exactly the same weight.
Yep. So he was feeding just like we were, and that says a lot. I know there's been a lot of people out there that have issues with their snakes are being maintenance fed and coming in small, and 100% Steve does not do that. He feeds all of his snakes the same, and they all get good meals.
Yeah. Hey, Melinda.
So you have a 1.1 double het. Is that?
So he made another one available at the show, and we're getting her soon too.
Yeah, she's
so they're gonna have
for us. Yeah, so we'll have a 1.2 TSK.
Nice.
Hey, girl.
Damn. And so are those your only zebra animals, or are those going to be, or are there other hets?
Yeah, just going to be these three.
So,
he's going to be ready.
This male's going to put in some work this year.
Yeah, he'll be ready before she is. So he's going to go to some TSK stuff this year to make some stuff.
And other. We will speak of that.
So hoping for some visual TSK het zebra stuff. So by the time the females are ready, then we'll be ready for them, and we can add some codoms. We can, kind of sweeten the odds a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. It's a fun game to play with breeding your males to produce something to then breed to the female that you already have, or similar projects like that.
Yeah,
trying to time everything right and hoping that baby eats well and blah blah blah.
Because I know the smart thing is to buy your females first, grow them up, and then get your males.
Oh, yeah.
However, with this project, with him being het TSK, I mean, we have a ton of visual female TSK that we can breed him to kind of increase those odds a little bit. So there's no reason why we wouldn't pick him up now.
Here's one of his future mates.
Yep, that's his future wife.
She was a proven breeder when we got her. She laid 5 eggs for us this year. All very visually stunning animals.
Mm-hmm.
Just a super pastel.
TSK.
Oh, that's not. That's just super pastel. It kind of looked like calico-y almost.
Super pastel TSK.
I mean, she's pretty old, but I mean, she looks really good, as she should.
Yeah, she's still nice, and she hasn't browned out a lot
at all.
Yeah, I think getting your males in to make a male like that. If you compare it to that female, make a visual, TSK, and it tests at zebra, to then go to the female. I think are you holding the female or are you holding the male? But to go to that,
this is the male.
But then to go to the female you already have.
So to be honest with you, in the beginning, we're probably going to hold both sexes back, to see, because we're going to be adding codoms in there as well. So depending on what we get, I mean, we're probably going to be holding a bunch of stuff just to see what we can make.
Be your best customer.
That's it. I mean, we breed things to hold back. We don't breed anything to sell.
Yeah. So I mean, that's the way you're supposed to do it.
I don't know if that's the way you're supposed to do it, but that's what we do.
That's the way you're supposed to do it. I'm not the one to say that, but I think the shift in the industry, in the hobby, has been more that way, and I shifted a lot from my 22 to 23. Well, 23 to I guess 24 season. Trying to do that. And so how many pairings did you guys have for the 24 season? How many clutches do you guys got? And what are you guys looking to hit?
The 24 season, you're talking about the one that's just passed and is almost over?
Yeah.
So we got one, we sent one female off to Casey here in the house.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be 36 clutches this year. We got one left that still needs to lay. Everybody else is laid. So we've had 35 laid. We had probably the ones that I wanted to lay the most reabsorbed, and that's okay because they're like.
I might have heard you wrong. How many did you say laid?
35.
Okay. 35. Okay. Got you.
And what other projects are you guys working?
A lot. So the stuff we have coming up for this year that's just going to be ready for this year, we've got the zebra, we've got some puzzle stuff, we've got some monsoon stuff that's coming up this year. So we'll be breeding our first this year for those things.
We're going to have congee stripes coming up. We're going to have dreamsicles. We're going to have sumapides. We're going to have
Yeah.
You name it, we got our hands in it.
I like a lot of
Even
projects.
even things that I strongly dislike, we're probably going to breed those.
Yeah.
I feel like you're
Trying to
hinting
put a
at
limit on our
something.
projects.
I mean, we've got this. Honestly, it's not terribly ugly because it's only a het. We've got this sunset male.
He's had sunset. He's a banana
and I'm just like, sell this thing, and she's like, no, we're gonna breed it.
Banana inchy double het sunset clown, and he doesn't want to do sunset at all. But I think he's a great male, and I'm ready to put him to a clown right now.
Good use.
So we'll see what happens.
Josh, I feel you. I would not have bought Sunset, and I have never bought Sunset. I walked into in the collection I bought, there was a 1.2 Posset Sunset Hypos, and I haven't tested them. I'm going to breed them together. If I have Sunset, I have Sunset. If I don't, I don't.
Just breed it and then give them to a friend of yours. I mean,
right.
I mean, and it's not like I'm in love with Sunset. I mean, out of all of the projects we're doing, Sunset is not at the top. However, I think there's a lot to be done with it, and so I would like to experiment with it.
Me too.
Yeah, I've seen some stuff, that's hatched recently that is still not, ready to jump into it, but it's
honestly, if it was with albino or banana, that would probably be okay.
I like the banana sunset.
It has banana.
Yeah, exactly. So we're like 3/4 of the way there, buddy.
So here's the dynamic of this house. She sees things she likes, and she brings them to me sometimes and says, "Can I get this?" Sometimes she just buys it.
Okay.
And of course, because I'm the pairing master, I decide who breeds and who leaves.
Okay.
Yeah. I was allowed to orchestrate one project this year, and that was my red exanthic girl. So I got her to a leopard inchy clown. And so I have babies from that, and I'm really excited about that. That's the only one I was allowed to make the decision about.
We already had that stuff, though. Why make
I
pets
like my
that you
red
already
exanthic
have?
girl.
So 35 clutches this season. What are you guys looking at for next season? You hinted at, a lot of stuff growing up. What are you guys, potentially doing for, I guess, the 25 season?
60.
60 pairings or 60 clutches?
Yeah. 60 pairings.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, 10% of those won't go, but yeah.
Right.
So we might end up with 50 clutches this year. And
nice.
A lot of those are going to be double het to double hets. A lot of those are going to be, I'm breeding this so I can get the male and breed it later, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's going to still, we're going to see some payoff this year, but we're really going to not see the payoff until next year, like after this season, the next season, I think.
Yeah, 26 is going to be your.
Yeah.
So do you ultrasound or are you just old school?
Oh yeah, we definitely ultrasound. I mean, I've got this one exanthic male, and he didn't eat a single thing from November until I stopped pairing him, like in May, and I managed to pair him with about 6 different females.
Nice.
And about half of those went for us. So I mean,
yeah, I mean, really, a lot of people are like, "Oh, ultrasound, blah blah," but really, the main thing about it is it saves your males. I mean, if your girls are not building follicles, then you don't need to worry about pairing, and that's the main thing about it.
You're not going to do more than 4 females with a male unless you have an ultrasound.
Yeah.
Right. And when you get those, again, I'm starting to get into the spot where you have those, powerful males. You want them to go to 7 or 8 females.
You would breed them to everything if you could.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I got into a conversation with someone where I was like, if I bought this male, I'd want to pair it to 80 snakes. Like, not even joking. It would go to every single snake. Like,
yeah,
I have, but you can't, obviously you can't do that, but you can make it from 4 to, I've had people do 15 with one male. And I'm like, holy crap. I feel uncomfortable with that.
This guy's going to probably see 10 females this year.
Yep.
Yeah, that's our TSK clown male.
Yeah.
Oof.
He's the daddy of all of our girls.
Nice. The other thing I've focused on in my 25 plan was kind of the opposite. I don't know, spreading out my males a little bit. Now I have a little more diversity. I have 5 males in like the Clown Pied project and 3 in the Hypo Clown and other stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, my Clown Pied boy doesn't need 10 females this year. He can see 3 in the other Clown Pied.
Yeah.
Right.
All that stuff is is nice
I mean,
to have your backup males.
It's good to have more males, but I mean, it wasn't in the budget to have more males.
Yeah, I'm realizing that as we speak. I'm like,
because you want to spend a lot of money on your males if you can help it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't really want to spend a bunch of money on a bunch of males.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been a problem the farther I get into it. I'm like, gosh, every year I keep buying more males because I've got more stuff to raise up. And I forget who said it, like Miguel might have said it. And I was like, I don't believe you. And this was like 3 years ago. And I'm like, damn, I should have bought my males a while ago. Jamie, I think it might be time for the sponsor video because I don't have the controls for that. So I don't know who does have the controls for that. Is it Jamie or is it?
I believe it's Miss Jamie.
Yeah, Jamie does.
Cool.
And we're back.
Perfect. We're back.
Oh, this blood.
Thank you to all the sponsors of the show.
For sushi. This is our blood python sushi.
I don't know if you can appreciate exactly how dark red he is.
Yeah, he's a pretty boy.
Yes.
So he's a big boy, as you can see.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a good 20 pounds, isn't he?
Yeah, he's heavy.
Hey, it's pretty.
So, this is our pride and joy. His name is Sushi. He's got a couple girls growing up for him.
Big Sush.
Yeah, Big Sush. I'm sorry, that's his nickname.
Yeah,
He's a rapper.
There was somebody asking in the comments earlier about sushi.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's Big Sush. He is. We don't quite understand if genetic stripe is a recessive or a codom, but he's a het T neg. Mm-hmm. He is het G stripe, pos het T pos.
Yeah.
And he is from the cherry bomb line, which is why he has that dark deep red on his back.
Yeah. So he's a very good boy. We got big plans for him.
Yeah.
So this is him. He's a sweet boy too. I know there's a lot of stigma around blood pythons, but he's a poster child for good blood pythons.
Yeah, I'm gonna have Alex from Rock and Royal said he was going to sleep probably 20 minutes ago, but he came to my house this week to buy rats and went, "What are your thoughts on blood pythons? I've heard they're nasty." And I'm like, "Yeah, they're pretty good. Like overall, they're pretty good."
We do have this T-neg albino girl that we picked up for him, and we haven't gotten around to handling her like him yet.
Okay.
She,
where'd you get? Did you get all your blood stuff from one person, or have you?
No, we've been kind of going through and getting what we want specifically. And don't get me wrong, I really, really love Juggernaut and what he does. Like his druid stuff. Oh my God, his stuff's amazing, but it's a little bit above our price range right now. But one day,
maybe next year, instead of investing in an expensive ball python, it'll be an expensive blood python.
I'll send you some pictures this weekend. I'll be at the White Plains show, and I'm always right next to him. And
really
awesome.
He's got,
so you got to hook
in my opinion, the best blood pythons in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Short tails. I'll say short tails in the world.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of the Borneos and he's got the Sumatrans too. And him and his wife are amazing people too. So plug to Juggernaut. I'll talk to him this weekend because I got to get him on the show.
Yeah, he's got amazing animals. I am in love with everything he has.
Every time I go and I see him, I'm like, at that show, I need to get blood pythons so bad. Because he pops up every time with something I've never seen before. And I'm like, holy crap, dude. I don't know how he keeps doing it, but the blood pythons are interesting. And how many of those do you have now?
We have 6 now. We have 2 ready to breed. One will be ready to breed probably next year, and then we got 3 babies that we picked up at Daytona.
Nice. And is that the only other species you work with, or do you got?
We've got a couple of Nigerian Uromastics that we plan on doing some breeding with. We've got our female; she's ready to come out of quarantine now, so she'll be getting moved in to Gen Pop with her boyfriend, which is Rex, and Raina is her name. Them, and then I think that's all we have for now as far as what we plan on breeding.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah.
And are those Uromastics the larger species, or are those?
They're not the Egyptians, but they're a little bit bigger than the ornates. So they're about 15 inches long, nose to tail.
Yep.
The bloods, how much difference is keeping them than keeping ball pythons?
Bloods are so easy. They poop like once every 6 months. They poop and shed like once every 6 months. I mean, the poops are horse size, but like once you clean it up, it's done and you're good for half a year. So it's awesome.
Yeah, they just kind of bury in the substrate and they eat easy. I mean, that one lunges out of the cage, but Sushi just kind of gently.
Yeah, like Sushi now,
like a golden retriever, just pulls it gently out of your hand.
I'll just take his little frozen thawed rat. I'll put it in there, and he'll just come and be like, "Thank you, Mom," and that's it. It's so sweet.
And what are the feeding requirements, or like what are they? What size do they take? How often are they?
I mean, Sushi is big enough now. He really could eat a small every 2 weeks and be fine. That they digest really slowly. So once they get to a certain size, I mean, with our little ones now, I'm feeding them the same as I would with our regular hatchlings, which is a weekly-ish. But yeah, once they get to his size, a small rat every 2 weeks, they don't really eat a lot. I mean, they have very slow metabolisms. And that's why they poop every 6 months, because they just take a long time to break it down.
I mean, temperature-wise, I mean, they need similar temperature, similar humidity to a ball python, so we're keeping them in the same room.
They like it a little bit cooler, but about the same humidity. So whereas a cap for a ball python would be 90, a blood would be like 86.
Okay. Cool. And are incubation temperatures the same, or do you need a different incubator to incubate?
You know what? I don't know if we've got that far yet.
From what we've spoken with Sushi's dad, where he came from, it's similar.
So we're incubating around 88 degrees for our ball python, so that's probably what we're going to do for him too.
Yep.
Cool. And what incubator do you have? I'm just curious.
Ye old monster cooler.
Yeah, Josh made our incubators for us.
There you go.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know where.
So yeah, that one holds about 24 clutches.
Okay.
We have a secondary incubator, and we set that one up to run cooler because we were going to do some super cinnamons.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That one holds another 8 clutches out there.
Yep. So that's where we put, like, when our hatchlings come out of the eggs, we stick them in the cooler incubator with whatever super eggs we having in there.
Well, once the super cinnamons were hatched, then I cranked that one on up to 87 degrees.
That's funny because I did the same thing when I had I used to have my 36 is what I have, or 48, 48, and I had a 24, and I did my super black pastel, my panda pied clutches out of that, and then when everything shed, or when everything came out of the egg, or once I cut the eggs, I'd put them into there, and then I sold that incubator, and I'm now down to just my 48. That's why I'm so jam-packed in there. But
it works great.
How many super cinnamon clutches did you guys attempt?
Just the one. I mean, we bred our black pastel pied to black pastel pied, a couple of pairings, and none of those went for us.
Yeah.
Like none of them laid, or like they just went bad?
They reabsorbed.
Yeah, they reabsorbed. So we were expecting several super cine or super black pastel clutches, but we ended up with just the one, and we got one super cine out of that, and she's perfect.
Awesome. And what did you incubate those at?
84.
Oh, okay. Okay. I incubated lower, but not that low. And how long did that go?
A long time. I think it was like 75 days. It took so long.
70.
Was it 70?
70
it was
days.
A long time.
So it's only 13 days longer because we're doing about
about 57.
Yeah, they're about 57 at the temperature we're doing in here. So
Yeah.
Okay.
really 2 weeks longer is what it took, and you just have to be patient.
Yeah, for
I'm
my
not good
panda
at that.
clutches. Oh no, neither am I at all. The panda clutches sucked because I waited till 65 and I think I did 86 or 85.5 on the incubator. I got 3 clutches, all were perfect. So
Really?
incubate low and slow when you do super cinnamon or super
Right.
black pastel stuff.
Yeah.
That's the secret.
Cook
Right.
them things like a brisket.
Yep.
Mhm.
There you
I like
go.
that.
Low and slow.
The extra days sound worth it, Jamie says.
Mhm.
I would
Yeah,
agree.
it is
It
worth
is.
it.
Yeah, our little Super Cindy girl, she's so pretty, and I'm happy with her, and I'm glad she's a female because, I wanted her to grow up for a while and make some pretty babies for us.
I mean, Laura got the sandblast, so I
Yep.
mean, she's gonna be good for pairing with him for getting suburban camos.
Nice.
Yeah, we do have a gray matter female that's ready to breed this year, and we have a male cinnamon sandblast pastel or super pastel.
I don't know if it's taboo to pair sandblast with gray matter, but we're gonna do it.
It'll be fine. We'll get some urban camos. We'll get some gray matters. It'll be great.
I mean, he's het pied, she's not het pied. I mean,
Yeah,
we got all the ingredients to make both there.
Yeah.
Jen asked what your average incubation temps are.
So yeah, for us, it's going to be. I have the Herpstat set at 88.7.
Okay.
And the way I have the air circulating, it's usually around 88 in there.
Okay. Yeah, I do 89. I used to do 88, and then I was like, this year I'm going to go to just 89, and it is worked perfectly. My clutches are coming out a little bit, not coming out, but a little more dimpled, a little more ready, than they were last season. So I was like, hey, 89, and the thermostat I use doesn't go into the decimals, so that
you got to get that Herpstat.
I know. I've been using the VE on the.
Oh man,
yeah, but I'll be switching to a Herpstat on the incubator when I get the new one.
There you go.
Yeah,
so did you order that already, or are you going to?
Pre-ordered for Tinley.
Tinley.
Down payment just to pick up at Tinley. I'm getting a Sea Serpent 60, so I'll have the Sea Serpent 60 and the Sea Serpents 48, which will hopefully last me enough for next season, and then when I outgrow that, I'll just build a walk-in.
It's the way to do it to save on shipping.
So with our incubator, I opened the Sea Serpent and looked inside, and I'm like, I can do this at home. So I've got a PVC false wall with the fans, and it's circulating out the bottom, so it works exactly like a Sea Serpent.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah, I've only used
a lot of money that works.
Right. The first incubator I bought broke in 3 days, so the first 2 clutches I incubated were out of tanks. And since then, all I've bought have been Sea Serpents, and they've been great. So I just put a payment on another one.
You got to stick with what works.
It's a good product.
Oh,
And you were saying the other day something about you changed the door seal out or something and add an extra lock.
Yeah. The I think me and Holly were actually talking about the Woolbanks incubators. And the difference, in price and which one's worth it and not, and I won't get into that right now. But the seal on the Woolbanks compared to the Sea Serpents is a little bit better. Like some of the Sea Serpents can bow a bit. We add you can order an extra door latch and just throw it in the middle. And then
So they got like a Yeti cooler style door latch on them. Is that how those are?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can just bolt a few more on there. Be good to go.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's like you're gonna spend $5 for that, or you're gonna spend $1,500 more for the Woolbanks. I guess that
the Woolbanks does have a refrigerating unit on there, which it gets pretty warm in this room, but not warm enough to be a problem. But in some places that could help.
Yeah, I mean that's what me and Holly were kind of going not back and forth on, because we both kind of agreed about. The Woolbanks is nice.
Mm-hmm.
Just I don't see the value in it for specifically ball python or like blood python, even breeders. The heating cooling aspect is great. I don't need to cool anything. The built-in thermostat is cool, but I can buy a herpstat, and then the seal is just at a $5 lock. You know what I mean?
If you're doing different species that needed to be cooled, prior to breeding, then that would make total sense.
You could bromate them in there, and then breed them, and then set it up to incubate. But if you were in Arizona or something, then it would be a bigger issue. But not in New York.
Yeah, no. For colubrids and stuff, I think they're great. Like you said, you incubate, you brumate at your temperature in there, and it's like, okay, you don't gotta set aside a room in a closet in your house to brumate in, or all that stupid stuff. And you can just bump it up to breed, to incubate. I think it's great for that aspect. For me, where it's like, okay, I'm just gonna have a lot of ball python clutches, and you can fit 4 extra clutches in a wool bank. And a wool bank's the biggest wool banks compared to the biggest sea serpents. I think it's like 48 to 52. So 48 for the sea serpents, 52 for the wool banks, which to me is the only place you add value, but it's not double the value for 4 clutches.
Yeah.
I mean, how many people are going to have 52 clutches active at once? Maybe we will be this year.
Yeah.
That's why we have 2 incubators.
Right. That's why I got to buy the other one. But that's why I had to buy the 60. Just the exponential growth in all these places. For you guys going from 30 to 60, like, it's nuts.
Yeah.
I don't know, Bobby.
Overall, how long? What's that?
Oh, I was gonna say, I don't know what you guys are going up.
I was saying, overall, how long have you guys been breeding?
I think we're in our 3rd year now.
So we just finished up our 2nd season of breeding.
Yeah, we're going into our third breeding season.
Nice. And what got you guys into it? Were you at the start?
We are highly addictive individuals.
We're like, what can we be addicted to next? Actually, I used to own a lot of snakes, and I love reptiles. Actually, frogs are my favorite, even though I don't have any right now. But I used to have a bunch of corn snakes, and I had a red tail, and I mean, I just love reptiles. And I was like, you know what? Let's go to this crazy show me snake show up in Jacksonville just for shits and giggles. And we went there, and we bought our girl Octavia. And a couple months later, we got 2 more, and that's how it happened. And then we started like looking online, and we're like, oh my god, look at this and look at this. Or like, you know what? Let's make
the first thing she did was she discovered the grab bags at
Dynasty Reptiles.
Oh god, yeah.
I've always been curious about those.
Yeah, so I ended up with a banana clown, and I was so excited. I'm like, oh my god, a clown!
We pull him out. I mean, you're going to be surprised how nice this banana clown
looks.
He's
a good-looking boy, but yeah, I got a banana clown in one of the grab bags, and that was it. I was hooked.
Do you know if they still do those?
Yeah, they still do that. As far as I know.
Yeah. So, but we've gotten a couple cool snakes. So this is Happy Gilmore is his name.
That's nice.
And he was a grab bag snake from Dynasty.
No, that is a nice.
Yeah, that's nice.
He is really pretty.
So we've had him. I mean, he's probably 1,800 grams right now, and he breeds and he eats. And he's only had he had a clutch his first year and his 2nd year.
Yeah, he's bred a couple seasons for us.
He doesn't breed a lot, but we get eggs from him each year.
Yeah, he's a pretty boy. So yeah, that was the beginning of the end. So.
So how many clutches did you have your first breeding season?
I'm sorry. How many clutches are
did you have first breeding season?
I don't know, 8 to 10. It wasn't a ton.
Yeah, it was probably, and it was a bunch of we had a bunch of spider stuff, but I mean, to be honest with you, people love spider.
We bought anything that was breeder size that we can get our hands on, and we bred it. Like
most first year breeders do.
I don't know if that's what everyone does, but that's what we did.
That's what a lot of people do.
We bought all of ours as juveniles, and everyone that we have, we've raised up to get to breeding size.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's a smart way to do it.
So you started with a plan. You didn't just go hog wild.
No, we went just
Right.
the long waiting game.
Yeah.
I think we went from 2 ball pythons to I think 37 in a matter of 6 months, something like that.
It's about how it works. So we started with a bunch of breeder size, collections that we bought because, like, hey, I need to get out and there's this. And we're like, hey, well, like one of the collections we bought was a GHI Mojave Bell. He's GHI Mojave and lesser. So he's a Bell, but he's got a GHI in there. And he's amazing. He's the whitest snake. He makes beautiful babies. And he was part of a very low cost collection. And that's just how we started. And we got some real gems out of those. But then we got smarter and we realized that
just the nicest, coolest guy.
Yeah.
Pure white.
Super sweet guy. Yeah. And
the different ways you can go about doing it is fun.
Yeah.
And then once you get to a size, it's like, oh, okay, I'll pick up a few adults this year. I'll pick up a few babies and, and mix and match just to what fits your projects better. So how many do you have total in your collection right now then?
With all the hatchlings, I think we're a little bit over 300 right now.
Okay.
Well, I mean, how many adults do we have? Or how many not hatchlings? 200, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Non-hatchlings probably about 200.
So between the grow outs and the adults.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's a real good size for for 3 years.
Yeah.
And where do you guys kind of see yourself going in the future? Like, is this a kind of, you want to stay at this size? Do you want to get much bigger?
I think this is a good size for us. We both work full-time jobs. So we both work in the solar industry for 2 different companies. We both work overtime. We're very, very busy. So this is about as big as we want to get until it's time to go full-time. But to be honest with you, I make good money and I really enjoy making good money to support my snake habit. So
I make good money. You make okay money.
You work at 2 different solar companies. How does dinner work when you guys are like, well, my company is way better than yours?
Well, I used to work for the company he works for.
So all the people that she works for are kind of my friends.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wasn't a good enough friend to be hired over there yet.
So we started at the same company. It got bought out by a bigger company and went corporate, and then it wasn't so nice anymore. And all of the awesome people from that previous company started their own business. And I went to work over there.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Nice. That's really cool. Jen asked a really, really good question.
We do. It's a lot of rodents that we breed. We're working on our rat shed right now. It's 12 by 20.
Rodent Palace.
Rodent Palace. Sorry. I think it's a 12 by 20. We're putting the finishing touches on it now to get the rats out there. Right now they're
in the laundry room.
They're in the laundry room
and her office.
And in my office. We do Norwegian, we do ASFs. We were doing mice, but they're not awesome. So we stopped doing that. I think I have like 2 mice left in the rack.
Off the record, we also do these things that look a little bit like hamsters and gerbils.
Hamsters and gerbils. So we had some males go off food this last breeding season, and we couldn't get them to eat for anything. And finally, the gerbils kicked them back on in the hamsters. So that was the secret. Now everybody went back on food.
Well, you've seen Bob. He went from 1,500 grams to 1,200 grams, and now he's back to 1,500 grams.
Yeah, Bob was our first test subject.
One gerbil, and then immediately he was slamming 2 ASFs a week.
Yeah.
Wow. I've heard that. I've never actually talked to anyone who's done that. That's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, and so far the hamsters breed a lot better than the gerbils do. We're still trying to figure out the gerbil thing.
Gerbils are different because they're like monogamous, and they won't tolerate other people around while they're having relations and things like that.
And they like a lot of exercise. So it's not like you can throw a bunch of gerbils in a tub. Like they need room to run on a wheel. They're very active. So yeah.
Okay.
She really wants her feeders to be super happy.
I do a lot to keep my rodents happy because happy rodents make healthy rodents that make healthy snakes.
But if we have obese rodents, then they have a heart attack before the snakes get them.
Shh, those are my pets. I have a couple of pet rats that are a little fat because I spoil them, but that's not our feeders.
Nice.
Those pets have What would you say that cage is? Is it a parrot cage or a ferret cage?
It's a ferret cage.
It's a parrot cage.
Yeah, it's a huge cage, and they get lots of treats.
It's just the right size so you can squeeze it through a 30-inch door square, and it's about 4.5 feet high with wheels.
I love my babies. What do you want from me?
Yeah, I couldn't believe how much the mice, just how much more they stunk than the rats or the ASFs. We had them briefly, and
yeah.
I mean,
yeah, they're really stinky.
I begged Sara for probably 3 months to stop breeding the mice and just feed them off before we finally got rid of them all.
I mean, they're good for the hatchlings, but once our ASF colonies got up and we started producing enough ASFs, there's really no reason to keep the mice. I mean, the ASFs produce way more. They're easier to handle. They're less stinky. You know, we got lucky with our colonies that we picked up, and our ASFs are nice. I mean, I rarely get bitten. And that's if it's just a protective mama, you know, so we got real lucky with those.
The funny thing too is we did have a situation where we had the ASF stored with 1/2-inch. Hey, Ivana.
Oh,
they were stored in a place where it was 1/2-inch mesh, and they were the weans were crawling out, and then they would just kind of walk down the hallway and ask us to return them to their family.
Oh, yeah, we just every once in a while we'd see a little ASF hopping through the hallway. We'd pick him up and back up with his mom.
So they're not different.
We had some that we were gonna feed one night, and I don't remember, something happened, and we had already pulled them out of the rack and put them in a tub and put them in the snake room, and then we didn't feed that night, and I came in there later on, like the next morning or something, and there was a hole chewed, and there was only a few left in there, and we kept finding them for the next couple weeks. They would like get up in the bed with us and like be on like Holly's arm or something in the middle of the night. She'd wake up and she's like, take this
They're
one and put
so
it back in there.
weird compared to the rats. Like, you know, I have a pretty decent size rat barn, and I do a decent amount of ASFs. If you drop a rat, like, I'm hitting the deck,
you got to dive on those things
everywhere. If I drop, like, I've been, you know, up on a ladder and I pull an ASF and one jumps out, and I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna finish, you know, this ASF bit, and then I'll go down and get it because it will not move.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of like that, but they are still.
They just kind of hang out. They're like, yeah, cool.
I mean, the rats better than
they
the
really
ASF.
have nothing better to do, so they're just gonna wait and see what happens.
They're so weird. That's the only thing, you know. That's the weirdest thing about them to me is they'll just sit there. I'm like, you guys are in my garage. You can kind of go free for a while.
You can get outside and take your chances. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we did the same thing. We had a rack that had the 1/2-inch mesh on it, and all of a sudden we like seen them hanging out up on top by the feed and everything, and we're like, wait a minute, why?
You're not supposed to be out here, buddy.
We have one that climbed out of his space, and he climbed in with the rats, and
they were mothering him. I had a big rack system, and he crawled out the top and got in the one underneath. And I had a colony of rats in there, and they're really good moms. And yeah, he just went in and was nursing with the other baby rats. It was actually pretty cute, but yeah.
I mean, I know he was being groomed.
Yeah, they were just taking care of him.
So I've heard that rats will kill mice, but I guess they don't kill ASFs.
Not these girls, anyways. I don't know about some of the other ones, but all the rodents in my office get a little extra special treatment, so they get extra love and extra treats. And so
here's one thing I will say about the ASFs, though. We have a lot of these hatchlings that won't take them, and we have to assist feed.
Yeah,
really.
Versus with mice, where they're not as picky with them.
Yeah, but the good thing about the ASFs is they're small enough to where, especially if you have a 20-gram hatchling. And you need to assist feed a newborn or a pink ASF works really good for that.
I just kind of switched a bit and starting this season to offering ASFs for the first meal on all my babies, and I've only had one hatchling not take its first meal so far, which
that's crazy because we've had whole clutches, so I'm doing probably 15 a week.
Yeah. I mean,
it's a long night because these guys are not happy about it.
It hasn't been like that with all the clutches, but we do have a couple of clutches, and it's the entire clutch that just are difficult eaters.
We've had a lot
yeah,
of problems with special for
It's
whatever
funny.
reason.
If the mom wasn't a good eater, then the babies aren't a good eater. Who'd have thunk it?
Yeah.
I mean, I used to, and probably the later the season goes, we'll go back to rats for first meals. I don't do mice, which is the next project I will be getting into is mice. And I don't have enough ASFs currently to, feed 200, 300, 400 babies on all ASFs. But my ratio was probably 70-30 on their first meal, and then 95 would eat on their second meal. But yeah, out of almost 30 babies this year, one hasn't eaten its first meal on an ASF, and that was just Monday. So I was like, oh, okay, cool.
How many babies have you had this year?
Or
9 just with the ASFs?
That have started with the ASFs.
Yeah,
like 25.
Okay,
Nice.
And I have 5, 9. I have like 15 that next Monday will be tested as well.
okay.
To see if they do the same thing. But I also wait a little bit longer than some people do to offer their first meal.
Yeah.
We've been waiting until after they do their first shed.
Yeah.
We usually do. We'll let them do their first shed. Wait till everybody sheds out before they separate them, and then we separate them, and then the following week we do first meals.
Yeah.
And
then if the second week after that, if they don't eat, then we
assist.
Got you. So yeah, I kind of do they'll shed. I'll set them up, and usually about a week and a half, 2 weeks, I'll let them sit there. So my other buddy they'll all shed in the same tub. He'll put them back in the incubator for a week, then set them up, let them wait a week, and then offer. So it's almost it's like 3 weeks after they come out of the egg to offer, and that's I think what Justin does as well. Trying to offer too early can spook them. So I've tried to do that, and again, I'm not a patient guy, so it sucks. But we just hit the hour mark, so thank you guys for coming on. Is there anything else you guys want to get out there? Where people can reach you, anything like that?
We're going to be vending in Tampa in November. October we'll be doing Jacksonville. Nice. I think Orlando is in December. We don't have a table locked in yet, but we're going to do our damnedest to get in there. Gotcha. But yeah, we're on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, all the places.
Morph Market too.
Morph Market. Oh yeah, we're on Morph Market.
And we got a website, sundogserpents.com.
Yep. So I just want to say thank you very much.
You guys are vending this weekend?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
You mean in Kissimmee? No, we're not going to Kissimmee. We probably won't even have time to go down there and shop.
Yeah. But I want to say thank you to Holly. I love you so much. I hope you feel better, and you're the best. Yeah. And we love you guys too. But
I'll take it.
The second shout out is usually the best one, anyways.
Yeah. Well, definitely. Thank you guys for hopping on, and everyone. We will see you next Wednesday.